Last time on Lost and Found. The day had finally come for us to venture onto the ice with Jacques and Catherine. But before we go too much further, I wanted to formally introduce you all to Catherine. Catherine was born and raised in Juneau and now lives out of a Toyota Tundra with Jacques. Loaded up with a full day of food, clothes, and ice climbing gear, we traverse the challenging terrain to get out to the glacier's edge. Glaciers are in a constant state of change, so there was no guarantee that we'd find a safe place to transfer onto the ice. Optimistic, we scrambled down an unstable scree field one at a time to reduce the risk of a rock slide. The ground we were walking on was only recently exposed for the first time in over 3,000 years as the glacier recedes. Thankfully, we found a stable point to grant us access to the ice.
This is just so silly.
I'm not sure if you can tell, but this was our first experience on a glacier, and I was pretty tickled by the experience. This labyrinth of water and ice couldn't have been more alien to us.
Oh my God, I'm brain freezing.
Slowly, an odd feeling of familiarity washed over us as we explored this foreign landscape. The tall, narrow fins, and small streams that shaped the surface of the ice. They were all things that we had seen countless times before. The glacial terrain mirrored that of the sandstone formations in Utah. Nature sure does have a habit of repeating itself with a new set of elements.
All right, you want
Hand me the camera.
Sure. It's recording. There's the...
Okay.
There you go. Nice job.
Yeah.
As rock climbers, we were excited to try our hand at ice climbing. Jacques gave us a quick tutorial before we went in search of a crevasse among the fins of ice for our first climb.
Bye.
Nice. Good job.
Oh,
All right, on the ledge.
All right, you want to go further?
Yeah. All right, I'll zero there.
Okay.
Holy shit.
Matt, I'm ready for you when you are.
I'm gonna bask in it for a minute.
Take your time.
All right, let's see how this goes. All right, coming up and over this first ledge here. Awkwardly. It's kind of hard to trust this right away.
I know.
It feels like it shouldn't work. There we go.
That was rad. Oh my gosh, you're the best.
I got you guys. Yeah, that's cool, right?
Yeah.
It feels.
It just feels like such an intimate way to experience like a part of nature that we just have like no prior contact with.
This experience was such an incredible gift. Jacques suspected that this feature was once a cave deep inside the ice. When the cave collapsed, the water flowing through the ice filled the void, creating this rare variety of pond on the surface of the ice. It was here that Jacques gave us what he calls his TED Talk on glaciers and the changes that he sees guiding on Mendenhall day in and day out. We, as humans, have a massive impact on our planet's climate. And because glaciers are a product of climate, they respond to climate change. Growth and recession of glaciers is completely normal. But what isn't normal is that they're melting at an alarming rate. Glaciers all over the globe have lost, on average, 4% of their volume over the last 20 years. The ice fields of the world generate calibatic winds, which are effectively the air conditioning of the planet and help stabilize weather patterns. Without them, we're left with unpredictable and severe weather. This is just one of the many global effects of glacial loss. Though the gravity of this information still weighs heavily on our hearts and minds, we're thankful to understand how reliant our planet is on their existence. In total, we hiked 12 hours, covered 12 miles, and climbed nearly 3,000 feet of elevation. Every step of it was worth it. Back on the same trail we'd partially hiked the day before, we went out in search of an ice cave Jacques had mentioned seeing at the toe of the glacier. The hike out to the ice cave took us past markers where the glacier's edge used to be sitting, starting in 1910. The markers that hit closest to home were the years that we graduated from college. With the stinging threat of tears in our eyes, we looked off into the distance where the glacier now sits. It felt like we were walking through a graveyard.
Oh my god. The sexiest thing I've ever seen.
It feels like you're under the ocean.
So what did you think?
What do you mean?
Like of everything that?
Oh my gosh. I don't know. I feel like I don't know. It's just so profound. There's so few places that you can come in contact with a glacier in that way. And it also just feels like experiencing color in a way that I've never experienced before.
Yeah.
It feels like a church to me. It has that kind of like awe-inspiring, where you just feel like you're in a place that's really important. But it goes a step further because I feel like I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of the season if that's gone. You know?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It feels like a place that when I talk about it in the future I'll cry. Because it's just that special. It's the first time I've done anything like that before. Yeah. Very, very special. Alright. Let's go make some dinner. It was our last day in Juneau. The previous 3 days of hiking left us exhausted, physically, mentally, and emotionally. We don't travel because we want to be comfortable. We travel because we want to be challenged. We want to learn, and we want to become better citizens of the world. Even if that means experiencing discomfort and heartbreak in the process. We know one day, when we return to this area, it will look very different. But for now, we felt lucky to be leaving with a deep love for Juneau and its glaciers.
The glacier is giving me an all-new appreciation for blue. I've always loved blue, but I feel like we saw this color. That's so good. Wow. There's a lot of flavor going on in there. I like that a lot.
Yeah, there's so many different flavors. Yeah, you're right. Wow. Yeah, I've never had anything quite like that.
I could eat another one. No questions asked.
With one last celebratory beer in our belly, we went back to the Auk Bay ferry terminal where we had arrived 1 week earlier.
Are you sad to be leaving Juneau?
Very sad.
Wow, it was deep.
Juneau was a very special place. I was not expecting it. I am incredibly grateful for Jacques reaching out to us, and yeah, it's all about the people, and there are good people here.
Yeah.
Freshly showered before we had even left port, we settled into our last voyage on the ferry for the summer. Just 4.5 hours to the north, the town of Haines was waiting for us. Next time on Lost and Found.